Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 21 of the San Marino Challenge. Now, today's episode is going to be against Rimini Calcio. As you can see, if we look at the league table here, we are currently in 5th position. Now, the previous episode, it was some time ago, and during that, with the new tactic that was implemented, I believe it was the second game after I changed tactic to the one we're using now, the fixtures have definitely fallen in our favour. We've gone on a really, really good run of form recently, albeit there was, a 28-day gap, a 25-day gap, something like that, during January, of course, or just prior to January, for the Christmas break that they have in Italy. So we haven't played that many games, but I think we've played enough and we've won enough to propel ourselves into this position. Now, if you look at how things are, we are in 5th, like I mentioned, but we are only, 2 points behind 2nd place. So a win today for us and a loss for a couple of the teams that are above us, and we'll go into 2nd. And, I mean, if you look at the league table here, Cesena are in 1st, of course, our parent club. And as you can see, Medina have actually fallen a little bit lower. They've had a bit of a bad run of things as of late, which I'm kind of happy about because, Medina are sort of our series rivals so far. And, they've definitely, the last, 3 seasons, they've had a bit of a better run of form compared to us. Anyways, let's get into the transfers first of all. There wasn't really too much activity. Actually, there was a fair bit. As you can see, 4 players did leave the club. Some of them for a decent amount of money. First off, we had Adamo. He left to Avellino for 11.5k. One of the players that was causing a lot of fuss within the squad about, I think he was signed as a key player, and he really hasn't played at all, to be honest. And as such, causing problems, pissing me off. Out the door, mate. See you later. We then also let Palmer go to Pisa Calcio as well. He left for a free transfer. Similar story, to be honest. Just really wanted to get him off the wage bill. Hasn't really played for us either last season or this season. So, happy to let him go. Now, this one was a pretty weird one because we sold Kevin Varas to Bari. I believe it was for 70,000. However, looking back on it, if I had kept him with this, with the tactic and the system that we play now, he would have been a perfect winger. Really good pace, pretty good technicals, and good mentals as well. But unfortunately, before we changed to the tactic we're currently using, we did set up the deal for him to leave. Although 70,000 is a lot of money at the moment, especially with the dire financial situation that we're currently in. And the final player that was let go of was Ungaro to our parent club, Cesena, for 35,000. Again, just another centre mid. We had an overabundance, and I really needed to, sort of clear a few out. And we got money for him as well. A pretty good fee, about half of what we got for Varas. So all in all, 111, what is it? 111, 115? 115,000, we'll call it that. So pretty good. And obviously, it also helps the wages, which will, in turn, cause us to lose a little bit less money each month. Although we did bring other players in, so it probably balances itself out a little bit. Of course, I mentioned Selly. I think I mentioned Selly, or Celli. I think it's Celli because of the C and the way that Italians pronounce the C. But as you can see, Celli was brought in, centre-back. He was brought in before the transfer window, but he couldn't be registered until now. He is registered. But then I saw this guy, Ingoglia. Actually, I think he was waived. Was he? Maybe he wasn't. I felt like he was waived. But he was brought in on a free transfer. Very good physicals, only 22 years old. Really good technicals as well. And of course, in the tactic, we do play with 2 ball-playing centre-backs. So I feel like he is good enough with his 10 passing to be one of those players. He hasn't walked straight into the team purely for the fact that we're in such great form, and I don't really think I should be dropping anyone for him at the moment. But he's a good player, and I think, yeah, he'll be good enough for the team, and I think he'll thrive in the tactic as well. And the final player brought in, unfortunately, it says that he was brought in on the 19th of the 1st. Now, I don't think that's true because I could not register him in the team. And that is Meneghini. Yeah, we'll go with Meneghini. Very, very good right back. Obviously, we play with inverted right backs, so I was looking for one of those. But then I saw this guy pop up. The only letdown is his positioning, which is 6, very low. But apart from that, I mean, everything you want sort of at this level in terms of a right back. And I don't really want to be playing Diodario next season as our backup player in case of injuries and stuff like that. So I thought that he was a decent enough player, at least to be a backup, if not a first-teamer. We also have this deal set up as well, and that is Trainotti, another centre-back. He's left-footed, which I desperately need because we don't have a left-footed centre-back at the moment. Very similar player, 10 passing as well. And again, sort of fits the ball-playing defender mould. Determination is only 2, which is very low, which I'm a little bit worried about. But yeah, he'll join in the next season. I'll have a look at the fixtures here, and then I'll show you the finances. But as you can see, the previous episode, I believe it was San Marino Calcio in the Cup. Nice little win there. We did follow that up with a disappointing 1-1 draw with Medina. As you can see, we opened the scoring through Chester, and then they got a late goal back as well. However, we got back to winning ways with a 3-1 victory over AS Gubbio. Cali with 2 goals, and Chester with a goal again. Once again, conceding a pretty late goal, albeit it didn't really matter in this one. So, yeah, nice little win there. We followed that up with a 5-2 victory over Ravenna. As you can see, 4 different goal scorers there. Chester, Zortia, Ambro, and Gasperi with a brace. We then managed to beat AS Livorno, who are having a pretty bad season. I believe they sacked their manager not too long after this result. But yeah, we beat them 4-0 in the quarterfinal of the Coppa Italia Lega Pro. Chester, Cali, Gasperi with a penalty, and Krasniki also on the score sheet there. The next game was a 1-0 victory away from home against Gavarano, with Toscano in the 88th minute getting the winning goal there. We then managed to beat Ternana again, and at this stage they were first in the league. They were top of the table. As you can see, Chester opened the scoring. He's been in such great form. He's by far and above the best player at the moment in the team. They had a player sent off in Cardicelli, and then they also scored an own goal through Baroni in the 92nd minute. We then followed that up with another 2-0 victory, this time against AC Siena. As you can see, Chester with 2 goals. Like I mentioned, absolute beast. We then disappointingly drew against Albino Leffe, 1-1. As you can see, they opened the scoring through Agostinelli, but we equalised 2 minutes later through Cirillo. And actually, I want to show you this goal from them because Cirillo is actually at fault for this goal. Now, when this goal went in and what happened prior to it, it was a rage moment for sure. As you can see, we play the ball forward and then they start their little attack. And sort of what happens next is mind-boggling. Cirillo plays it back to their player. San Giorgi does manage to make the first save, but their player gets on the rebound. And then 2 minutes later, he actually scores the equaliser. So, fair play to him for coming up with the goal there after his horrendous mistake. Yeah, Soleri brings it down. Again, Chester involved. He's pretty much always involved in our goals. And Cirillo gets it and slots it home. Not a bad little goal from him, to be honest. So yeah, I went from pure anger at Cirillo to content. We'll say content. And then after that game, the break, I guess it's the winter break, yeah. The winter break started, and we played 4 friendly matches. The first being against Frosinone. As you can see, beat them 3-0. We then versed AC Milan on TV, which we received 4.4k for. But I think we also made about 15,000 profit from gate receipts, which was, a nice little bit of money added to the finances. But yeah, we beat them 2-1. Mercy, the centre-back, with 2 goals there after they did equalise. We then beat Vicenza Calcio, of course, one of the teams in our group. 4-0 victory over them. And then finally, we beat the San Marino Academy, which is, I don't know, it's really weird. It is in San Marino. They don't really have any good players, obviously, because it is what it is. San Marino as a country are pretty poor. But yeah, we beat them 5-0. We then started back in league action against Rieti. Beat them 5-2. Another big scoring game. Soleri with 2 goals. Cali as well with 2 goals. And Ambro also on the score sheet. One of their goals was in the 93rd minute. So, it was well and truly over by that point. And the most recent game was a very impressive 3-2 victory away from home against Vicenza. Of course, one of the teams we versed in the friendly games. As you can see, we opened the scoring through Cali in the 16th minute. They got their equaliser 3 minutes later in the 19th. Then we had Soleri 5 minutes later after their goal get us 2-1 in front. We then actually went 3-1 up through Soleri once again. And they got 1 back in the 79th minute. And it was a pretty nervy last 10 minutes, but we held on. And we took all 3 points. And Vicenza are one of the teams that are at the top with us. So, yeah, taking the points off them was very impressive and much needed. Now, if we look a little bit further down here, you can see, of course, we're in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia Lega Pro. And we will be versing Novara. Now, Novara are a very good team. Obviously, they made the semi-final. They're one of 4 Serie C teams to do so. And we will play them in a 2-legged affair, home and away, with the home game coming first. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I think over 2 legs we can definitely beat them. So, hopefully, touch wood, we might be in a final this season for the Coppa Italia Lega Pro. Anyways, the finances before we get into the lineup, they're really, really bad. This season, of course, the projection, it looked really bad at the start of the season, and it really is bad at the moment. 223,000 in the red. The chairman hasn't done anything, hasn't injected any money, and only with player sales, we've sort of stumped the losses at the moment. But yeah, we're losing about 50 to 60,000 per month at the moment, which is disappointing because at this point we were at 737,000 in the bank. And at that point I sort of thought, well, okay, this is really good. Maybe we'll be able to start affording to buy players. Not like spending heaps of money, but buying some decent little youth prospects here and there was what I thought was on the cards. But unfortunately, it's not happening, and we're hemorrhaging money at the moment. And it's part of the reason why I want to get into Serie B so badly, purely for the fact that once we get there, I think the finances will sort of sort themselves out a bit. Anyway, let's get into today's lineup for the game against Rimini. As you can see, we're going to go with San Giorgi in goals, Zortia at right back, Mercy and Aussie as our 2. Is it Mercy or Murchie? Might be Murchie. Yeah. Should I say Murchie or Mercy? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to go with Mercy because that's what we've used for like the last 10 episodes or whatever. Aussie as the other centre back, Belfasti as our left back, Pellini will be the defensive midfielder. Going to go with Chester on the right, Forte on the left, unfortunately. Cali misses out through, I believe, suspension. We're going to go with Cirillo and Gasperi in the centre of our midfield. If we look down there, Ambro is unfortunately out for I think 3 to 4 weeks it was originally. And yeah, as I mentioned, Kelly is suspended, which is disappointing because, Cirillo's not been too great. But if you look down here at Ambro, 7.33 average rating. And I believe he's our captain at the moment as well, despite it being his first season at the club. Yeah, so they'll be the two centre mids today. And we're going to go with Soleri up front. Krasniki was in a decent little bit of form. But then he dropped off, and I brought Soleri in, and he's just, again, started knocking in the goals, which is really good. The bench today is going to be Buscarini, Ingoglia, Diodario, Trillo, Toscano, Fabinho, Krasniki, and Molnar. Now, Rimini, I believe they're in 14th in the table at the moment, so, they're not having that greatest season. I'm going to tell the boys that we should be winning this game with ease, or no matter what. The expect to wins has definitely, I think it's definitely been working as far as the team talks go. And like I said, we've been in such great form. We haven't lost in God knows how long. A couple of draws here and there, but ultimately we've been winning. And we've been, we beat Milan not in pre-season, but in a friendly game. Cirillo, that was nearly on the rebound there, was Mercy. Not a bad little free kick. Now, one thing I have been doing, I've been focusing on the yellow cards. We haven't had a red card in quite some time. And I think that is because I've been doing this in pretty much every game. I've been taking off tackle harder, and I've been putting on ease off tackles for all the players on our team that pick up yellow cards. And like I said, we were struggling for red cards, especially at the start of the season. I mean, the first game we got 2 red cards to the centre backs a few episodes ago. Yeah, but it's definitely stopped as Zortia moves the ball forward here. Chester, Cirillo, Soleri, not a free kick. Oh, Forte, what a goal! He is right-footed in the left wing position, but what a goal cutting inside there on his right foot. Banged it in. And we've moved up to second on the ladder. Or in the table. And I'm pretty happy with that. Getting the goal just before half-time. It's definitely something that you want to happen more often than not. And you definitely don't want it to happen to you. But yeah, we're playing really well. Rimini haven't had a shot yet, so that's definitely positive. We're going to make a couple of subs here. We're going to bring Krasniki on for Soleri. I mean, I talked him up a little bit, but he's on a 6.4 right now. Who else? Yeah, we'll bring Polini off. 6.6 for him. It's pretty low. And yeah, Toscano, he's done really well coming off the bench. And in the few games he started. Chester, he shoots it straight at the goalkeeper. Again, he's been better than that. He should have been scoring that. There was a lot of space to the right of the goalkeeper. Or to the left from our view. And that's the end of that highlight there. Come on, boys. Let's grab another goal. I want to solidify the lead here and definitely pick up these 3 points. Oh, Danzo's going to get sent off here for Rimini. Yep. Picks up his second yellow card and off he goes. Now, we can't be throwing this game away. Zortia with a long throw to Cirillo. Zortia crosses. Forte gets it. Toscano, Cirillo, Chester, Krasniki. Krasniki sneaks it in the bottom corner. Nice little assist there to Chester as well. And we get the second goal. And it does look like 3 points now. Toscano with a free kick. Oh, nice little goal there from Mercy at the near post. And like I said, he's really chipped in with a lot of goals. I mean, 2 of his goals that I mentioned came in the friendly game, one of the friendly games. But yeah, he's doing really well. Considering he's a centre midfielder that I converted into a centre back, I think that's definitely paid off because he's quite a good defender, and he's definitely come up pretty big for us, especially last season and this season as well, which I'm really happy about. And there we go, guys. Full time. 3-0 victory. Didn't even have a shot on target. It's exactly the type of win I'm looking for against a team coming 14th. Oftentimes, you know, we can throw away the lead against some of these lower teams for whatever reason. But that was definitely not today. And we're going to praise Mercy here as well. Solid defending and a nice little goal there to top it off. Alright, how does that fare us? So we're 2 points behind Cesena at the moment. Now, San Marinese, they're on 40 points with a game in hand over us. So they could equalise Cesena's points at the moment if they do win their game. The same with Albina Leffe as well, actually. I wonder if they're playing each other. That'd be pretty good for us. It'd be even better if they both drew, actually, because we'd all be equal, except for Cesena. So yeah, that's going to end this episode, guys. Would really appreciate a like, subscription as well, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. But yeah, apart from that, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys.